Welcome to Mike Drops Up Close. We speak to entrepreneurs and thought leaders from all around the globe. Tune in and hit subscribe. Stay informed with inspiring stories from our amazing guests. We get up close and personal, covering subjects from business, marketing, and mindset. Hosted by Michael Kalisperis, a successful digital marketer and property investor.
Welcome to Mike Drops Up Close, Kamila. Like I said, I don't want to say your surname and get it wrong. Is it Szolek? Is it a silent W or?
It's Wszolek.
I knew we were. Wszolek. Exactly. I knew I'd get it wrong. I knew it. So that's why I don't do it. So you are the service accommodation queen. So for people that are watching in my network, your network, that don't know what the health service accommodation is, would you like to explain it to them?
Yeah, of course. So service accommodation is another name for short-term lets. So I guess it's we take houses, apartments, and we give them on a short-term let to people, and we provide the service with it. So they're fully. So if you've got all your linen provided, it's like a hotel really, but it's on a self-catering basis. And the services that you provide with it are sort of optional to you, is whether you choose what you choose to do for your guests. So effectively short-term lets, like holiday lets, but we mainly cater for the corporate side of things and the business workers.
Brilliant. And anybody that doesn't know, still understand that, which I think is clear as day, just give Kamila a shout, because I'm not into service accommodation myself. No, I do understand the concept and so on. I just heard it's a lot of work. Is it a lot of work? Is it constant back and forth, or have you set it up in a way that you don't really need, or this doesn't affect you in that way?
It is a lot of work if you don't do it right. Then it definitely is a lot of work. When you systemize it well and you put processes in place, it's fairly simple. You get your busier bits and you get your normal periods, like anything, mainly to do with maintenance and any problem guests and things like that. But generally, when everything's fine, we don't spend more than half an hour on the actual managing the business as it goes. It's on growing it that we spend more time.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So actually, not on the business, not that much time. Right. I didn't realise that. I thought there'd be quite a lot of time on it. But I guess, like you say, you set it up right, then that's the way to go. But I want to get this. Obviously, Mike Drops Up Close is about getting up close with Mike Drop, and we've connected. We're very good friends, and been good friends for, I don't know, it feels like fucking forever. Excuse my language.
I know.
Isn't that mad? It feels like forever that we've been friends. And literally wherever we go, we connect, don't we? So it's so funny. It's like we're joined at the hip. It's really funny.
Yep.
But what I want to get at, I want to get your personal story, so where you started and how you came into this sort of like world of property and investment, because you've gone through quite a journey. If you'd like to share with the audience, that'd be lovely.
Yeah. Did you want me to go like down to the start, like to the roots?
Just about a conception when you were just born.
I'll start there. I was born at 32 weeks. I nearly died. This is true, actually.
You even thought about that. You took a minute to think about that. That's terrible. I'm talking about, you came to the UK, didn't you? You've not been in the UK all your life. So maybe from that point there, yeah? Okay.
So actually, that's a good point to start. So I moved to the UK when I was just turned 15, or just before I turned 15. When I was back in Poland, there's a funny story actually, I was really involved in a journalism sector as a young journalist. I had quite a bright future. I had contacts in the TV, and I was reporting for sort of big national websites about winter sports, ski jumping. I had press accreditations to go to the events. I was really like hot within that group. I lied about my age to be able to do that. Yeah.
I'm not surprised, Kamila. I'm not surprised. You're a bit of a rebel.
You got to do what you got to do, right? I even had a boyfriend who was an international ski jumper. Was this international Swedish ski jumper? He didn't know how old I was until he came to visit me in England. But I'm going to keep that quiet. I was 16 then.
Now he knows. My God.
Yeah, now he knows. But anyway, yeah. Oh yeah. Keep that out. I was 16. Shit. Cut, start again. No, so I moved to the UK at that point. So I was really angry about moving away from Poland. Like, people will expect you that, you know, you come from Poland, so you must have been really shit. It really wasn't. It was, you know, we've gone through hardships, but at the point when we moved, we had quite a nice life. And I had a bright future. I was in one of the best schools in my city, which you had to get in on based on results. I had big plans. So when I got removed from that environment, put in a country that I didn't know, where nobody knew anything about winter sports, I had no future in that. Different language, so, you know, my writing time's kind of like over until I pick up my writing skills and join a different education.
Still better than mine.
Oh, I don't know.
Still better than mine. It's still better than most people. So you come over and just, yeah.
Yeah, so it was. I was angry. I was really angry that I had to come here, and also the time that we moved. So I moved here. It would have been halfway through year 11. And the education system is very different. So it meant that I didn't have any coursework. So they had to move me to year 10 so I could catch up on everything. So I kind of joined halfway through year 10, had to catch up on all the work and then finish. So it started at that point. And when I moved to Plymouth. So Plymouth is a little bit, you know, we're a little bit behind here with everything. And we don't have a lot of foreigners. You know, yeah, we don't have a lot of foreign, or now, you know, we didn't at the time. There was a big influx of Polish people at the time when I moved, and I got bullied. And, you know, I had comments like, go back to your country, stop stealing our jobs, wow. You know, you fake, you're never going to get anything, you know, lots of that thing. Bear in mind, my parents both set up their own companies and employed people, so their comments about stealing the jobs, I was like, that's quite funny, actually. But I let them say what they wanted to say. But that gave me a great determination to prove them wrong. So through my life, through everything that I've done, I've always thought, if I just set my goal on achieving something, I'll go and get it. So my journey actually wasn't meant to be in property. So I was meant to go into the journalist kind of stuff, went in the medical sector, so that's what I was kind of aspiring to. But then joined the finance, got offered a job in a bank at 17, decided to do that because I wanted to be independent, left home, said, bye, Mum, I'm off into my own apartment. And she was like, yeah, you'll be back. I never came back. And kind of off the back of that, I you know, involved in finance, as things worked. And my dad was, he wasn't a developer. He had a construction business. He did a lot of work for property developers, my stepdad. So I watched him do that. And my mum back then, I didn't know about this then, but she had a holiday management company. So she did cleaning, changeovers and management of holiday properties in the South Hams, which is funny that now I'm in SA because I didn't link the two. It's not something I considered doing. So I saw them do stuff. I watched Homes Under the Hammer, as you do. The most like motivational program out there for amateurs. So did that, and then decided to buy my first house when I was 18. I made my ex-partner do it. I pretty much bullied him into buying a house with me. And he didn't want to do it, and I was like, I really don't care. It's just what we're doing. And it was a repossession, and we started flipping houses, and that's how our property journey started. So that's that, and then it kind of like I did different things in property. Did you want me to go into how I got into SA?
Yeah, that's what I was. What made you choose SA over? Because you know, you've done training in a very good friend of ours, his network, Rob's, and you know, you picked one sat well with you. Is it because of your mum's background, would you say, or your personality? Because sometimes personalities work better or is it just because, you know, you just clicked better and had more money or whatever? I don't know. What?
So it was none of that, actually. So I came from a place of pain because I did property. I just picked it. No, so it's me and my ex had a business, property business, and we did buy-to-lets, we did flips, we did, you know, we're just about to get into HMOs, and I ended the relationship 10 years, ended it. Obviously, got children together, and we had to sell the portfolio. So we ended up in probably joined between us 100 grand of debt. Because that portfolio was built really quickly, and then when we sold it so quickly, it's just, you know, we just lost a lot of money in it. So I knew about SA, so I had a lot of knowledge about property, and I knew about SA, and in my head I needed to replace my income because I was in debt and the monthly payments and everything were killing me. I knew that I wasn't gonna last long on my midwife salary. So I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know whether I was going to make it. I just knew service accommodation, rent to service accommodations got the least kind of funds needed up front to fund it, and it's got the best monthly earning potential in the quickest time. Because, you know, if you rent a property, it's there immediately and you can get it set up and started straight away rather than waiting for it to complete and everything else and doing refurbs. So I came to Progressive August 2017 to Miss Hoppy to get motivated. I was like, I'm not buying any courses. I've done that before. I'm not doing it again. And came away with two courses, as you do. And but the best, the best thing that's happened, because it got me on track straight away, and I just used the momentum and I just cracked on and started setting up SA. I was in tunnel vision for months, just getting the business going. And I didn't actually realize how much I was making until probably 8 months in. I sat down and I worked out what I was making. So I was like, there's money coming in.
I remember your post. You're like, ooh, I'm doing quite well here.
Yeah.
I remember you post. Not the,
yeah, and I wish I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can carry on.
I wish I didn't know, because I got scared. I got really scared. But it's good because it made me seek a mentor at that point, and that's how I came across Rob as a mentor. I ended up being invited to ICME. That's how we met. And I kind of like, you know, my business is booming because it's expanding in so many different areas now. So yeah, it did help me. But yeah, that's how I got into it. It's a bit random.
And in a very short period of time, you've really gone like from sort of not being known to being right up there, very well known. And I mean, you're naturally a likable person. Like literally everyone that gets to know you, I think, likes you. You know, you just got a really bubbly, very honest, very genuine personality, and that's why I connected with you a while back. You know, and you came and joined me as well, didn't you? On my own, I do my own little bit of training, marketing training, my own little mastermind that Kamila's on. Yeah, so it's funny how, I mean, like you did a live recently, and I've talked about it a lot, where people just need to be themselves, be you, and the people that need to connect to you. And I talk about attraction marketing a lot, actually. I do it on my talks, and you do it naturally because you're just being you. You're not giving it what other people are saying or thinking. And some things might grate you and irritate you because we're human. We're not made of steel, but you still stay strong to being you, and that's the key thing. I even put a post not too long ago about sharing about, you know, the ad espresso marketing geeky stuff. They've Facebook have allowed a way of checking everybody's ads entirely, and so really people can copy a lot of people's stuff in marketing, and the only way you can really truly be different is by being yourself, and that's really where you're going to get the best KPI in terms of marketing, not just for throwing it all out there, you know, and the people will connect with you. And you've done that exactly how you should have, because rather than pretend to be someone else, you are being you. And I've got a lot of respect for you for being that way. It's something I really hold true as a good, one of my main values. Yeah, some people might knock it, but it's one of my main values, you know. But you've done really well.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Another quick question is, how are you getting on my mastermind, first of all? Are you enjoying it? Is it good?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a bit of feedback.
It's good. It's good. No, it's really good. I mean, there's so many things that like I don't have a clue about. Or you know me, like I am just don't know anything about technology other than how to work a Facebook, like barely, not very well.
No, you're good.
I can press a live button. That's it, and have a fight with people. That's my speciality on Facebook. But yeah, it's really good. I mean, like yeah. I mean, things that you said to do, I wouldn't even think.
yeah. And I remember your post. Yeah, this stuff works. like your post.
It does. Like the first thing. That's what I'm like. Like you tell me to do something, I'll immediately go and do it. Like I won't wait or think about it. I'm just like I'll just try it straight away.
Yeah, I think that's why you're a good mentee because and you're a good mentor because I believe actually leaders always need to be learning and mentors need mentors and that's why you train yourself, don't you? You do your own service accommodation mentorship and mastermind and you've done that very successfully. And I really believe that people that think they know it all, they really haven't got a clue. Things change. I don't know it all. Something might be working at one point and then they change the whole system up. I mean, it's crazy, I mean, some platforms might not even be here in 5 years' time. You just don't know. I mean, remember MySpace, exactly. I mean, it's crazy. So you are really smashing it up, doing really, really, really well. And I think a lot of it's to do with your personality. You're very likable. But I also think, you are very intelligent. And, I wanted to ask you, yeah, you are. I just went to go and do banking. I just decided to do this at 16. I decided to train as a midwife. I mean, come on. Of course you are. We have
a joke in our family because I'm in a family of very strong women, and there's a running joke that all of them got the boobs, but I got the brain.
Oh my god! No, I think you've got it there. You might be hiding it a little bit under your personality because you're just friendly and bubbly and so on, but you've definitely got it there without doubt.
Thank you.
So, would you say that's? I mean, there have been posts that we've discussed things in the past as friends because we're very good friends. But there are people that sort of like will judge you for being a lady, and I like the way you've been proud of holding that name with the SA girl stuff. It's really good. You've had a lot of women come your way actually, and want mentorship. People that might be not fully, what's the word, confident to get out there like you have, and you seem to be getting, and they're really helping quite a lot of people, which I think is amazing. It's something that I've got a lot of respect for, and I think it's brilliant what you're doing. So would you say, have you noticed the more that you've gotten out there that these people, that's becoming more of your target market? I know it's open, but has women become more your target market in your business, would you say?
No, however, like this is a strange thing because I get on with guys really well. I've always been more of a tomboy because I joke a lot. Sometimes women just don't get my humor as much. So actually I get on, like, we're really good friends. Like, there's so many, if you think within our network, I'm mainly friends with the guys. So I don't market to women alone. However, I am the biggest supporter and protector of women out there. Like, if anyone jumps in on a fellow woman, like, I will rip their head off. I'm not joking. Like, honestly, if they're there to do that, like, I'm the biggest person, like, supporter of women, women's rights and choices, because I do feel that in business, it's not as bad anymore, but we have a bit of a disadvantage, and people make assumptions because you're a woman, you stand behind a man, which is, working with a man, there's nothing wrong with that, but there shouldn't be an assumption that you just like a sidekick to someone. Like, why you can do things alone. So I have nothing against people working together as, in partnership with their partners. That's great if you have that. I haven't got that. Yeah. But I also believe that we shouldn't be, discredited for being female, because especially property and business is generally like male-dominated area. So, sometimes I feel like I have to prove myself more as a woman before I get the respect. But then I think that's my twist on it. When I gain like men's respect, I think that I have actually advantage over other men. And it's someone in the community, like one of the mentors, I'm going to say it, I'm not going to mention which one, but one of the mentors, I personally feel that he didn't like me, and he thought I was a bit full of it. And I had to prove myself to him, I felt, not with actions, like just generally what I did. He had to believe that actually I did know what I was talking about, and it wasn't just all for show. And I think he needed to get to know me, and now I do feel that he's on my side and he supports me. and I feel that I can go to him. So I feel that I've got that bond and connection. I know that I could sort of depend on his help when I needed it. Whether more than the guys, I don't know, but yeah. So it's balancing it out. But yeah, so I don't market mainly to women. I think being a strong, independent woman, women do come to me naturally.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They you know, where some might not feel confident. I think there's an area there where people will be connected to you for that reason. They feel more able to connect with you because of the same sex. Because you know, it's true, women can be treated very different, and men can as well. Don't get me wrong, but there is a dominance there. I've got a very good friend, Laura. She's smashing it really well with speaking. She did an Andy Harrington gig, and she's really killing it. And her whole thing is about equality and all this kind of stuff. She's brilliant. She's brilliant for women's rights and so on. And I truly believe in it. And the thing is, it's like, it's tricky because my wife's very pretty, and when you're pretty, people assume that you got nothing up there, and that you haven't gotten far in life because you got help and all this kind of thing. And actually, people like my wife and other people have done a lot of things on their own, and they've smashed things on their own. I say smashing a lot. It's my favourite word, by the way. And they've done so well on their own. And it's in many ways, it can be harder in many ways because people judge, people mock. And when she was younger, she used to get a bit picked on it at school, you know. So,
and you know what it is as well? No, that's fine. When the men, and this is like, I don't want to put it out to all the men because I don't want any man to be worried about coming to speak to me, and then I'll be thinking something else, because that's not my first assumption, like ever. Yeah. However, it happens a lot. You know, if you get a man that comes and speaks to me within a network and they're successful, then they automatically, rather than trying to be a friend and be a network, etc., they try to get in my pants because I'm a girl. So if they interact with me, then like, I don't know, sometimes I've had it a couple times where people have been talking to me, and it's all been talking about business. I never like go into that kind of stuff. I'm not really business is business, and that's it. I don't mix it.
Throw something in.
Oh yeah, and then we go for a drink to discuss business, as in a coffee. Then it's like, oh, let's go for a dinner, and I'm like, okay. And then we have a dinner. It's like, where do you want to go after? And I'm like, whoa. No, I'm going to bed, and I'm going to bed alone. Like, bye.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I know how you feel because I don't know that. Bold, fat Greek guy is not going to have that problem. Don't worry. But no, at least I'm thankful I don't do that with ladies. I've never done it with you or other people. So that's what I'm proud of. I actually love to connect with people for being them, you know, I really do. And so if I connect with you, whether you're pretty, whether you're not pretty, I just connect with you because I connect with people, and I love people. So that it's really important to have a real decent, genuine bond. I mean, there are people that are very fake out there. We probably know similar ones that are like really like, and it's in your face kind of stuff. And it's just too much. There's a lot of fake people out there. But you know, it's refreshing when you meet people that are genuine, for me in a way, and I that really connects to me massively. So, you know, heads up to you. Thank you for being you, basically. So
and vice versa.
Thanks, really appreciate it. I just want to touch on. Someone's actually put something on here. So just quick, we're going to read something here. Remember one of Camilla's earlier lives 12 months ago when she was doing calls to vendors on her lunch break for her midwife job and telling everyone that we all have time. Bless. I didn't see that one. That's from Carl Simpson. Yeah, exactly. No excuses, man. I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, we should never have excuses. I mean, you know, I don't have it. I've got to crack on. I've got a severely disabled son, and you know, life's been hard, and you know, tried to go through creating different businesses throughout my life, but through this stuff going on, it's madness. But you're still going to find time to do it, and do it for the right reasons. And your why, wasn't it? Your reason why. It's my reason why is my son. Yours is your girls. You know, I say my son, I mean my family, but I think of my son stronger because it's more empowering because he was born healthy. And actually, we got a bit of a weird friendship, haven't we? Because my son was made disabled by a midwife, right? Negligent. I wrote a book on it called My Little Spartan. It got #1, a beautiful boy. And it actually says there, embrace the struggle to find your strength. And people thought, oh, he's anti, doesn't like the NHS, doesn't like midwives. Actually, we forgave the midwife. It was in the national papers, and she's a midwife, we forgave the midwife in the national papers because we know people don't do this on purpose. It was bloody hard, hit us really hard, still does. had depression. It's been 7 years almost on, and our life's completely turned upside down. But I don't believe that that person did it on purpose. She might have been negligent and done things wrong. Yes, there's a sequence of things that were wrong, not just her bosses, things that should have been checked. We can't just hold it on one person. But it's hard. And so it's a strange friendship that you know, where people assume that when it was in the newspapers, people are like, oh, you're just against the NHS. We're like, no, we're just telling you what happened to my son to stop it up into other people's awareness. And we had hate. We had some people that are trolling us that actually work for the NHS that were kind of like, oh, you know, and I'm thinking, what's this about? It's just crazy. My son's just been born healthy, came home normal, and then been left blind, deaf with spastic cerebral palsy, non-verbal. I mean, it's like, what the hell? You know, and I'm getting attacked, you know.
Yeah,
so
what you've got, it takes a lot to forgive someone for something like that, because no matter what they say, they can tell you that the NHS is busy, they can tell you that it's sometimes a simple thing that's been missed. It doesn't matter to you. Like, at the end of the day, like, this has changed your life and affected your baby. Like, no matter what they say and how they defend, and so that's negligence, and you don't want to allow that to happen to another child. So I always encourage my patients, if something's been done wrong, please report that, take it forward, because people need to learn from that. And for you to forgive, that takes a lot. Like, I don't know that I would ever be able to do that, being honest. No idea.
Hard.
So that's really huge. So
yeah, thank you. I mean, the thing is though, there was a sequence of mistakes. So I mean, you could argue, we've got good reason to be, you know, very, you know, not forgive and so on, because it was, I mean, it's almost classed as a never event. A never event in the NICE guidelines, which is the guidelines the NHS go by, is something that it's basically, if they did operation on your stomach and they left some scissors in there, that's classed as a never event. It should never happen. So there's things that are in place that, you know, they're supposed to cover and sort of almost check box off. Real basic stuff like, are they feeding? Have they done a stool? You know, what colour are they? You know, within 72 hours, if they're yellow within 72 hours of birth, you need to get a blood test, because that could be something called pathological jaundice, not physiological. Pathological is poisonous, and basically it cause you brain damage, like my son. And that can happen from all sorts of things, like blood incompatibilities. It can happen from the heel prick, the vitamin K they put in your heel, you know, that all babies get. Babies can have a reaction to that, which is what we think my son had, and so it's crazy. But these things are nothing if protocols put in place and actually adhere to. But it wasn't on several occasions, even people above her. But we know we had to forgive. We had to forgive, and like I said, it's just beautiful to see how our friendship's grown naturally, and you know. You a midwife, it just sort of puts the fingers up to all those trolls that kind of assume stuff, you know. I love that. And yeah, so I mean, yeah, let's touch on that actually, the midwifery stuff. I mean, you were in that for how long?
I was qualified for 3.5 years before I left it, so 7.5 years in total, including training.
Wow, so that's a blooming, and it's not an easy job, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, I know, even though, you know. I know it's not. You know, you're running around left, right. So let's be fair. I mean, again, okay, my son was made disabled, but it's not an easy job. You're running around everywhere. You know, I must be.
It's hard. It's being a student. I'm a very passionate person. I loved my job. Absolutely loved it. I love everything about midwifery. I'm passionate about it. Being a student, you're allowed to be passionate. I knew everything about the latest research. I went to every conference out there. I was just living and breathing midwifery and improvements to care and how we can make things better for women, and thinking of creative ideas. I qualified. I'm actually a published author. I have an article published in the British Journal of Midwifery. And you know, 7-page spread. So I got that out there. I was so passionate. I got into a project lead within my trust very early on in my career as a midwife, which was great. Became a specialist in the field of infant feeding, and I just put everything into it. But the more I put in, the more there was people laughing that, oh yeah, look at her trying to change things. People just like not taking you seriously. I would give my time, my money into the NHS to improve things, and I was just getting nowhere. And at that point I was like, you know what, stuff you, because I'm going to take that and apply it in my own business and do something I'm passionate about without being stomped on all the time. Plus NHS, the restrictive environment you work within, you're not allowed to be yourself. you're not, like, you know me, you know my big mouth. Like, I was in trouble
I'm not
all the
saying
time.
I'm too scared.
Imagine this in the NHS. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I didn't, the management weren't my friends. HR, if my name came out in HR, they were like, for God's sake, not her again. Yeah, so it's a shame. It's a shame because I absolutely loved it. And I wanted to be within that niche. That's what I wanted. But I just felt it was suffocating me. It was killing my passion and for life and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few people asking what is mic drops. So obviously this is a new channel podcast that I'm doing. I'm going to put the link in the actual. There you go. It's on iTunes. Just come out on iTunes. I've actually got several interviews before that are getting uploaded. The thing with iTunes, they take ages to upload them. Yeah. So that's. Stelios said a while ago they can't hear me, but I can hear me, and you probably can hear me, can't you? And I've got another people are answering back, so I presume they can hear me. So Sava put, Mike is this cool chap on the left. Mic drops comes from his mic drops. Okay, make interviews. Okay, well, cool. Thank you, Sava. Cool. So I'm just trying to see what other questions and comments there are. Here we go. Amazing work. Cheers. So true, Mike, from Claire. I'm just looking. There's a lot of people joined. Anybody got any questions for our lovely guest, Kamila, about service accommodation?
Anything. Ask me anything. Did you hear my rant this morning?
Sorry?
Did you hear my rant this morning? Oh, you did. You joined in, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't quite catch it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've been really busy. I've had major problems with my emails with G Suite, and I'm just trying to sort it all out, and G Suite are just not getting back to me. And I've got stuff to send off, stuff to receive, and so on. So my head's been in that. But I saw a bit of it at the end where I started joining in, and doing that thing that you shouldn't do really when you're working, where you digress onto Facebook distractions and stuff like that. But yeah, I saw something about someone said something bad about you as a parent. That was could you explain?
Yeah. So with social media, I think it's important to say people are scared to put themselves out there in case they get the negativity. And you're always going to get it. So, some people try to be something else on social media. They try to pretend to be this person that just appeals to everybody. And I think people are always going to hate you. So I'd rather be myself and be loved or hated. And I did a video and, it's just like I'm myself on video and my children interrupted. And for quite a few times, like in total, and I ended up just asking, I'm very strict parent when they misbehave. So I ended up just asking, literally saying to my, that's enough, leave. And someone from that like few seconds snippet of a video said that I've acted inappropriately. My parenting's not up to scratch. He doesn't have any children himself either, by the way.
You're in a meeting at the end of the day, aren't you? It's a meeting. It's
exactly.
They know. Yeah, I get it as well. My kids will like knock on the door and they know I'm in a meeting or I'm on a live and so on. And it's like, they've got to understand. But I do bring them in a few times here and there. But obviously, it's not about us being interrupted. It's about them learning from it. Like, do you know what I mean? That's
completely. And also, judging people's parenting on social media, stay out of that. So I did a video and I did a rant about it because our mentor Rob, he often says emotional intelligence, emotional control,
emotional reaction.
Yeah, that's it. And I get it. So I've been working really hard on it because I am quite an emotional person and I get in fights all the time with people. Fights, when I say fights,
I'm quite emotional too, to be fair.
Yeah, I think we're both the same. So we're both working on the same thing. So I'm working on it in my head. I was hearing him saying, Kamila, just listen to Joe Dispenza. But I thought, no, because I really disagree with this and I'm going to go out there. I'm just doing it. And I did this rant video.
You're already having a rant with Rob, with the rant in your head, with Rob telling you that advice in your own head. You're ranting at him. Poor Rob, man. I feel sorry for him. I mean,
I know, we fall out a lot.
He holds back, bless him. Good on him. He's like, right, calm down. No, but that's what it's about. It's about being open and honest in where you are in your life and being able to feel confident, actually, to be And that's what a great mentor is. That's why I truly believe, as much as, you know, I'm sure Rob isn't everyone's cup of tea, and we know that. But that's the whole point. They're not supposed to be everybody's cup of tea. You know, for me, it's I find Rob really unique, special mentor. That you know, I mean, there'll be things I'm sure that I've not connected to, and there'll be things that I absolutely really do connect to. You know, but he is really a great guy, and I'm convinced that he'll be remembered in many years to come as one of the most influencing guys in the UK in terms, I'd say not just property, I'd say in mindset as well. In, you know, without doubt, he's a legend. Without doubt, I've got a lot of respect for him. Otherwise, I won't be on mentorship with him either. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Oh shit, he could be watching this. Mind you, Rob doesn't watch anything else. So he won't watch this. No, Rob. Let's say what you want.
He's in a bloody Cayman. He's in a Cayman. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's giving it up. He's probably got grapes being fed him by all the mentees.
That's life, right?
They're working.
My mastermind's in Watford. His is in fucking Cayman.
Mine's in my outbuilding. Mine's in my outbuilding. It's crazy. Oh, I don't know. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. The guy's a great guy, and I've got to give heads up to him. You know, I mean, people won't connect always with, and I think this is the thing with mentorship. Is like some people say, why would they want to become like teachers or mentors? And there's a really important thing here where sometimes actually it's not all about what people assume in terms of like, oh, that's ego, or oh, this is just self-promotion and marketing. Or there is, with many people that I know, a real want and will to help people and give back. And people do not, they're skeptical on that. They do not fully believe that, which is a shame. Because actually when you get to know certain mentors personally and up close, you realise there are people there are ones that care. Don't get me wrong, there are people that don't as well. I'm sure there are. You know, the ones that are in it for a different reason, and maybe that reason is right or wrong, who knows. As long as you can get some value from it, that's all that counts, you know,
Exactly.
as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, so you've got your own mentorship as well, and do you want to tell people about that? Share that?
Yeah, so I got pushed into it. I got a bit of a kick of the backside by Rob and co to do it, because people have been asking me to mentor, and I didn't feel that I was ready, or I was in a position to. I just didn't feel that I was good enough. So he said you should do it. So I decided to bite the bullet and launched. I sold out. Then I relaunched. I sold out. And then I thought, I've still got like so many people wanting to work with me. So I've started a mastermind, which is actually our first session is this Sunday. And we've got 9 out of 10 people on a mastermind, on a 6-month mastermind. So I help people to set up their service accommodation businesses. So whether it's set up or scale or grow, they come to me to know how to get their deals, how to get legal compliant, how to set up, what to do, how to speak to agents, how to grow these direct bookings. Basically everything that I've done, I'm just literally giving them, so they get access to everything that I have, and they have my WhatsApp, and I'm available to them for 6 months non-stop. I know.
You're like me. I give too much. I give too. Well, you know, you're my mastermind. You know, my mentee, my mastermind. I mean, I literally, people can contact me anytime they want, and I've, you know, sat there on the phone and helped them. I've even built some funnels for them. You know,
I think that's what's missing. I think that's what's unique, because, you know, a lot of people go to these masterminds or groups, and, you know, people I'm speaking to, like at the moment, someone I'm speaking to that's on a mastermind and on a high level VIP, on sort of like a mentorship, and, you know, they were saying that, but it takes ages to get your responses for individual things, you know, from within that group, because you don't get that access. So for me to provide access to myself on an ongoing basis, I mean, there's a policy. So it says that give me 24 hours to reply to a WhatsApp message and 48 hours to an email. I normally reply before then, but I want to allow myself that time, because sometimes you have urgent things that you just want someone to help you with or answer your queries. I think that's a very unique thing that I'm giving, and I think that's been the biggest help.
Without doubt, 100%. I agree. I completely agree. I mean, my mastermind's only small. There's like, I think 10 of us in there, and for me, that's without doubt a key thing that you've got to allow people to contact you, because that's what they're in there for, is to find out. They can do it in the group sessions as well, because I mean mine's a year-long mastermind. It's crazy, every month, year-long, and contact and a group and so on. And I share all the tools and how to do chatbots and everything. But for me, I actually love. I'm just brain dumping everything I know, pretty much. So a lot of the people in the group are already using some amazing stuff with great results. But for me, I kind of like, maybe it's like a bit of fear that I want to give too much. I can't give too little. There's maybe a bit of fear. Maybe I give too much. Maybe I'm foolish. But it's part of me. I just want to give. And I think it's important. There is that. But I think it's important of a line where people respect you. And I kind of like the idea, if I'm being honest with you, that if they're vetted correctly, like for instance, you guys are mentees, you don't overstep that mark. You're logical on time. People aren't silly. So it's nice to know that the people that I've got in my group are going to be launched soon.
Yeah. You have to establish boundaries, and that's one thing that, like, at the start I felt really uncomfortable doing, but you have to, because sometimes people would contact me and say, can I get on a call? We do 2 weekly accountability calls on as part of the mentorship, and sometimes they would message me, can I speak to you like in an hour? And I used to go, yeah, and just put them in, and then my diary's so busy, like I can't allow that. And and people will still try. I said, you need to pre-plan and pre-book this in advance, like, because I have other responsibilities. I used to do calls like when I was with the kids or late in the evening, and then I went, you know what, I deserve a life too, like. And they'll understand. That's the thing. They understand and they're fine with it. And if anything, they respect your time more because you set these boundaries in place. When you don't respect your time, they're not going to respect it either. So ever since I've been a bit more strict, I've actually felt that the conversations we've had and they've been better quality, because they know they're restricted to that hour we have, for example, or, they have to really think about what you're going to get out of me. And yeah, I have sort of more respect.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same. I was never really sort of like as blunt. Before, people used to phone me up. I remember doing a rant about a year and a half ago. A guy wanted to find out all the knowledge I had in property. I'd given him the knowledge. He'd phone me up at random times. Real nice guy. But he was like, in my mind, if I'm being totally honest on this live, I don't know if he's watching, but I thought it was a bit sort of like up there in the stars, literally, where I want to get 200 houses in like a week's time kind of thing. It's just like, And I used to be very straight up and honest, and I don't think he kind of liked my honesty about that. And so in the end, I ended up just pretty much being blunt to him and just and cutting him off, because it was like 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock, and I was too polite. And I realised, actually, like you, where you've got 2 children and you're a single mum, your time's valuable. Well, mine's with a child that's deemed life limited because it's disabled, So my time is valuable, with my family and my son. Oh,
you fell over. I've got you.
She's drunk already. But yeah. I mean, and so people, if anything, our time should be valued way more than most other people that don't have those sort of extra commitments, where they've got the shared time with their family, or they haven't got a disability. We've all got problems. Everyone's got issues. It was just about cracking on. We've got a couple of questions here. We've got one from Barzan saying, how does one ascertain whether a property could be a profitable service accommodation? I have a detached property which has been run as unfurnished single let to a service accommodation, but I don't want to spend money on it and furnish it and then find out it's not working as a good service accommodation.
Do you want me to answer?
How would he be able to... Yeah, how would he know before going through the expense of changing a standard single let into a service accommodation without going through the expense, whether it would work? Is there any sort of like mic drops or keys, nuggets that you could throw in there?
Research is huge. So our first thing would be, do you know anything about service accommodation yourself, if you're planning to do that? If you don't, either get educated or find somebody who does, so they can show you how to do that research. You need to research your competitions, see what occupancy rates are sort of prevalent in the area, what people are charging, what kind of market you're going for, because you kind of like, is it holiday, is it corporate, is it contractors, what businesses are there, what attracts people to your area, location of it, like, is it easy to transport links, is it close to a train station, or is it close to your main motorways. There's a lot that goes into that. You have to research also size of the property, you know, your cost of running versus what you charge. You want to break even about 40 to 50%. So I've got a deal analyzer that I just chuck all my figures in, and it's got all the costs there, and it just works out occupancy and the income based on occupancy rate. With SA, you tend to want to average SA makes 70 to 75%, gets occupancy 70-75%. So I always go on those figures. If you get more, then amazing, but you sometimes get less, so it balances out about that. And like I said, you need to work out a breakthrough, break-even point, which is 40 to 50%, definitely no higher than 50%.
Cool. So Bazan, I hope that answered your question. We've got one from Stel saying, how many portals do you generally advertise your property on?
All of them.
I was going to say all of them if you can. Yeah.
Channel manager puts you on all the portals. I don't manage myself that bit. My calendars are linked to a channel manager, so I don't put myself on the portals. They'll do it. The biggest boys within that play are Booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia, investing huge amount of money into growing their marketing and kind of being the main provider. So Expedia, like Homes Away, Hotels.com is all like one group. So they're the next one. The smaller ones, I don't really notice much, but I have my own website as well. So I direct traffic to that website so I don't pay commissions, but I put myself everywhere. So you just get visibility.
Yeah. I mean, it's marketing as well. I mean, marketing is, you need to be seen, simple as that. You just need to be seen, and then, you know, if your message or the properties work with people, then they'll want them. So we've got another one from Paul. What's this? Well said about some mentors just wanting to help. It's a shame that some of the spammers out there cause doubt and procrastination for prospects signing up to genuine mentors. That's so true. I've seen a lot of it in recent months, actually, where there's been some dodgy mentors out there, and even the genuine ones get you know, a bit of a bad name because of it, and they'll jump on the bandwagon. It is a real shame. It's like, and then people say, why do you pay money towards like a mentorship, for instance, and yet they don't question, you know, university, you know, where you might spend so much money at university or college, and then what happens then? You know, I mean, you are actually in there with people with the latest information possible, and it's a mastermind setup, not single person behind a table with, you know, a one-to-many approach. And there is generally a mastermind with people connecting and so on. That's very different to university, where, I don't know, my university was a bit of drink and a lot of smoking and stuff like that. But hey, we won't go there.
When people jump in on anything.
It's a bit like the after party. It's a bit like the Expert Empire's after party. Actually, was my university life. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, Kamila was in all the photos. We had them with Jane's photos, everyone else's photos. I mean, she was there. But yeah, and it was great. It was a good night, though. It was a good event, really good event. And again, events is another thing. There's some events that are worth going to, others that aren't. We've got a really, 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 really fantastic one coming soon, which is the actual super conference. I'll drop the link in below. So whoever's going, yeah, 10x super conference. Yeah, exactly. 10x super. Thank you for reminding me. He's got 10x in front of it. We've got Grant Cardone going there. We've got Mark Homer. We've got Rob Moore, and there's a few other special guests as well coming. That's going to be a really, really great event. I think there's going to be, is it 1,500 plus people? It's going to be a big event. So that's going to be good. So, you know, we'll put the link in the comment. But Kamila, you know, I honestly, genuinely can say that you are one of the rarest, very genuine people that I know, and it's very nice to interview a good friend and someone. We've been planning this for a long time, haven't we?
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thought, right, let's just set it up, do it. So yeah, it's been good. I'm glad you actually managed to find the time to do it as well.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's awesome.
Yeah. So before we leave, what would you say would be your your best advice that you give someone starting in SA? Because you are the SA girl at the end of the day. Hence the crown on the photo that I did for your interview promo, which was like not even an hour before this live. Yeah.
What would I say? don't be afraid to just go in. I think focus is really important. So it's something that I talk about a lot, is when I focus on in one area, you're 70-20-10, people talk about it. Pick one area, get good at it, and put all your effort into it, and then sort of shift it and move on. And just, you have to be willing to take risk. People expect to get the result, but they're not prepared to take the risk. So I would say you should take the risk. You just need to go out there and do it, but get educated is the best money you'll spend, because you'll save yourself so much money in the long run, not making the mistakes that other people would have made. Or, you know, if you get an SA deal that's wrong, you're going to cost yourself a lot of money. It can go very wrong. So education is huge. So I would say get educated, use the momentum, get out there and do it. Share your journey. Share with people what you're doing. Use the social media. Social media has been huge for my growth as a brand, to expand in ways I never expected to expand or even go into. I never planned to be a mentor or to do training. It's not something that I ever considered. I was just going to have my own portfolio. I never planned to deal package. And network with people. The reason I joined our mastermind is, I mean, when they let me in, I couldn't believe they let me in, because I remember speaking to Rob and I was like, seriously, I was like, I'll be the worst person on that mastermind, like literally the worst. I was like, I feel sorry for the rest of the group who have to sit with me, because what the hell are they going to learn from me? Honestly, and I said to him, and he was like, did you not say that's what you want? And I was like, yeah, but I was so scared coming for the first session, because I was like, they're just going to look at me like, who's this peasant? What is she doing there with her, but get supported by people that are where you want to be, because you will naturally lift to that level, and just the mindset and, you know, and the connections you make and the friendships you make. I mean, like you said, you know, we're really good friends, and like there's so many people within our group that we've become friends with. We're not just like, you know, just see each other once a month. It's like we've become friends. And
Tigger, a really good friend of
Gordon,
mine. Tigger, Gordon Bertram. Shout out for Gordon Bertram.
What is it? What's it saying?
Tigger. He's always jumping up and down.
What does he say? What does he shout every morning? Like, it's a phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal time to be alive.
Time to be alive. All that. Yeah. He's a really great guy. Really great guy. Actually, that's Matt Elwell, another great guy, who's a brilliant bloke. He started off that kind of like that wording. Really great guy. But yeah, now we've got another question. So I think, if you don't mind, before we go,
go for it.
Throw it out there. Cole Simpson's asking, rent to service accommodation or deal packaging, which is the quickest in your view? I guess it allows specialised and then package, you know. So which one would you say is the quickest? Rent to service accommodation or deal packaging? Which would you say?
Deal packaging gives you chunks of money really quickly. But with deal packaging, you have to continuously do it to get that money. So I would say quicker, probably deal packaging, because don't forget, when you set up USA, you're not immediately running at 70% occupancy. You have to build up, and you have costs. So you have to spend money on a unit that you get. With deal packaging, you have no spending. You just find a deal, give it to someone, and you take their money for your knowledge, expertise, and for getting that deal. So time-wise, it's probably deal packaging, but service accommodation is an ongoing, it's a business, so you have to grow it. But, you know, once it's established and you have your clients going in and out, it's more passive income. So that money just comes in without you having to constantly, like, you know, find those deals. So if you can mix both up, great. If you're just looking for, it depends on your strategy. If you're looking for chunks of income and you're just committing all your time to that, then deal packaging is fantastic. And not just in SA, and so many different strategies. So it depends on what you want. Like I have both. I didn't do SA to then deal package. That wasn't the plan. But I did SA and I want to grow steadily. And I have time now to do other things. So I'm packaging it because it's a separate stream of income. It also gives me protection. So I didn't plan it on doing that way, but naturally it's just, I wanted to deal package, and it's like, what's best for me to deal package? It's my niche. So yeah.
You focus, like you said, so you focus. That's what I did. I mean, I come from a marketing background, design and marketing. Actually, I studied multimedia design. But actually, my friend Phil, he does computer games, 3D graphics for like a lot of like PlayStation games. We were in the same training together at university, and at the same course. And I came into property obviously after my son was made disabled. And I can guarantee you now, whilst I was training in property, knowing you that I did marketing or design or come from that background for 20 plus years, because I put all my focus into, I am a property investor, doing commercial to residential to HMOs and so on. And I put all my focus into that within 1 year. And I've always said I never wanted to be some big hot shop with like thousands of properties and hundreds of properties. I just wanted a few. I just wanted a few to get stable, to be with my son. It's a vehicle. I didn't want to grow huge. It's something I still stuck to, and integrity is key. That was my goal, and that's where I stuck. So I stuck on five in total, and that felt comfortable with me. And you know, I'll source as people here like Stell connected to me, want to invest with me, and there's a few other people that have done the same thing. When I find the right deal, I'll share it with them. I'm not going to just go in there and just package off deals like it's money, you know, just because that's what I want to do to create a business from it. Because I'm personally a bit like you, where it's got to really work for the investor, and I'm not going to. They don't come out of the sky. Otherwise, people doing these deals would get them themselves. People forget that a lot of deal packages would actually just get the great deals, and the other ones that are half decent, you know, will generally pass them ones on. So, you know, I personally think you've got to stick to your values. It's really key, because I don't want anyone losing money. I mean, we just got an all money out deal for my JV partner David, you know, and it was delay with the bank, you know, doing the refinance stuff. Took absolute ages, and we're like, oh god, but we got better than we wanted numbers, which is brilliant. So guy's very happy, he's making money on a property that's costing nothing.
Awesome.
You know, because of the one I've gone through. But that's what you do as well, with what you really do care about your clients, and it's really important that and I think it shows. I think it's really important that you,
I think ultimately it's property, and you know, sometimes deals go wrong, sometimes you can't, no matter how much you try, you can't guarantee it. My own deals, like some perform better than others. Like you just don't know. So there's a risk element as well to my investors. You know, I always say to them, do your own research, because you don't want it to just be that this person told me, so I just blindly trusted. But you do care, because I would never want anyone to lose money, because like at the end of the day, I couldn't live with myself if I passed on something that I knew wasn't going to work. It's just like, you know, so and people, but
you're not doing that though. Oh, sorry. You're not doing that though. You're doing research for them. I'm not, don't want to say names. I know there's some people out there that just it's just a churning the deals. They're just going through them. They're not even looking at there's no effort in it almost, you know, and that's a shame. I see people, you know, getting burnt with those kind of like transactions that go on. But but
also when you say when you niche in an area, which is the right thing to do, but like I said, you know, people didn't know you were a marketer, that you were, you know, a really good marketer. For me, like I get sometimes comments saying, oh, she's been in property for 5 minutes, and look at her trying to like pretend to be something, but they don't know that I've been in property probably 9 years, 10 nearly, like in different areas. They don't know. And like you just don't know. They don't know that. They only know me from SA because I'm niche in it. So they don't know that I had a portfolio of buy-to-lets, money in, money out. They don't know that I've flipped a number of properties, that I know a lot about the HMO market, because that's what we were going into, that I've done lease options, that purchase deals for. That they don't know that, because at the moment my niche is this. It doesn't mean that I come from a finance background. Like, so, you know, sometimes you get people assuming that like, oh, you've been here for 5 minutes, why are you going and telling people to do this when you've got no experience? And, you know, like I just let them think whatever, because sometimes, you know, my knowledge talks for me. Like I don't have to, you know, make out that I'm something, like I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah, exactly. You've got nothing to prove to anyone. I left the BBC because I was actually fed up. I was like, I'll be honest with you, I wanted to settle down. I was at the point where I wanted to meet someone. I knew it wouldn't happen in London. For some reason, I had it's just the whole environment. I didn't feel it for me. It was just. In my hometown, my parents set up their business, which they've got a chip shop. They had a restaurant as well, and surprising to a lot of friends, I actually went and helped out and ran that shop with my brother. And people were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "Actually, no. I came for sanity, not for the look." And I still carried on my marketing design on a separate business. I could do that. You know, you can do that. So I did both. But people do assume, it's crazy. They do assume. I actually even have people that saw me from the restaurant business, and they'd see me in the street, and I might be in a suit after a meeting. They'll go, "Oh, you're looking rather dapper. Where have you been?" And like shocked, I'm in a suit. And you'd explain to them, I just met up with a client and so on, and they'll be like, "Oh, right," almost like assume that if you've got a restaurant business, like you're dumb or something. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. So I truly, genuinely don't give a flying F about anyone and their opinions. I never have for many, many, many years. The only one that did hit me hard was when they judged my son in the situation by someone who's made disabled, and there's all sorts of keyboard warrior trolls, sort of people saying he's better off dead. You know, like, because it's a consumption on the resources of the NHS.
But that was just awful.
Yeah, there's some sick, and it went on forever. Like, I was the sort of person that would reply back. You know, I wouldn't be the sort of person that just sort of like, "Thank you for your opinion," and just leave it. Everyone I'd reply back, and there might be like 100 bloody 200 replies. On the BBC bloody news online news channel, and they wouldn't even delete it. I'd message it to them, they wouldn't even delete it. It's like crazy. And I used to work at the BBC in London. There you go. But hey, it's the way it goes. But I really just want to say a massive, massive, massive thank you to you. I'm no doubt see you at the next mastermind meet. And you know, you've been a brilliant, brilliant guest. I don't know. I think we better call it a day, because it's been over an hour, I think. I've got
a duck hunt to go to now.
A what?
A duck hunt.
A duck hunt.
At my children's school, I've been invited to a duck hunt.
Don't say that wrong. You said it wrong. Your accent saying it wrong.
Oh, did you hear the other thing? Oh no! Oh no!
Don't say that dog. Don't say dog hunt again.
Duck. It's ducks. Quack quack.
Duck hunt. It just sounds wrong. It's sounding very rude.
I'm not hunting for that.
Actually, why not? Just say it a few times fast.
No more.
Okay. No more. We'll cut it there. But no, you've been a great guest. Thank you ever so much, Kamila. And I think it's amazing what you're doing for your children. Do you know what? I've been messaged quite a few people to get my wife on this, and I thought, yeah, she is, because my podcast is about business, marketing, and mindset. And actually, I think for my next interview, I'm going to get my wife on. I'm going to try and churn them out this week, because I've started this podcast. I'll start piling them all in. I'm going to get my wife on because she's my biggest superhero here, and she's amazing. She's like you. She's a strong woman. She comes from a family like you, with strong sister, strong mum. Her dad died and everything. And you know, they've gone through a lot of crap. Obviously, my son was made severely disabled from being born healthy, and loads of other crap, cancer scares and stuff. So she's definitely, I'm going to put her on. Just thought of it just now. You know, you've inspired me, because she's such a great, lovely, beautiful woman, and you know, you've inspired me to get her on here as well. But thank you again, Kamila. You've been.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are more than welcome. You take care. This will be on iTunes soon, and I'll catch you all soon. I'll edit the video after, and I'll put the link to my iTunes podcast. If you don't mind supporting, I'd appreciate it. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. All the best. Mic drop. See ya.
If you enjoyed listening, then please subscribe to The Mic Drop Show and connect with Michael on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.